Damn, that's a good looking dude
Absolutely,
right
you
there.
can.
Holy.
See what I mean? We're overlapping all over the place. What's up, Mike Perry? Sean, you guys know each other, I'm assuming?
A little
Oh, yeah,
bit. I know
couple
Sean a little bit. I never had the pleasure of really turning up with him though.
August 19th, after I knock out Aljamain Sterling, one of our brothers, we could we'll party.
That's what's up, bro. Yeah, you've been doing your thing lately, man. Keep going.
Hey, Mike,
You did. Yes, sorry, real quick. I just want to say thank you for knocking Luke Rockhold's teeth out. I've always wanted to, but I can't because he'd whoop my ass. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you, brother. I mean, I'm rooting for you, man. Some big fights on the horizon, and you got an awesome style.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely right, Mike. Hey, last question, Sean, and we'll let you go. And again, thanks for your time as always. I know you're a busy man and you got a heavy schedule. 1 second, Mike. I apologize as well. Diaz, Paul, it just came out. They're going to be testing for marijuana, right? As a man that likes to blaze up yourself, what the fuck is Nate Diaz going to do?
Nate Diaz probably isn't going to give a fuck. He'll probably fight, test positive. You know, I don't think Nate will care if they don't move it out of Texas. You know, I doubt you're going to get Nate to quit smoking before his fight. And
that's what I thought. I thought he'll just take the fine. You know what I'm saying? And say, fuck it. Who cares? Hey, Sean, you're the man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, brother. All the best with everything. We'll talk soon.
Boom. Peace, boys.
Platinum Mike Goddamn Perry. What's up, brother?
What's up? Get the belts in there, yeah.
Oh, there we go. There we go. You get a new one every time you defend it?
Yeah, I mean, I have one for MVP and one for Luke, and I got both their names over here, you know.
Hey, let me guess. What's Luke Rockhold's called? Booger? Is it the Booger belt?
Sure, yeah. I didn't really give them. I gave them their regular names, MVP and Luke Rockhold.
No, that's awesome. Hey, Mike, listen, we've known each other for a little while, you know. To see what you've done, I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you.
And I truly mean that. And I think a lot of the MMA community feels the same way as well. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, listen, you go to the UFC, you win some, you lose some, you know, it's the way it goes. And whenever fighters leave the UFC, it can be dicey. You know what I mean? And you never know what's going to happen to people. And some people go off and they find another avenue. Some people they get a regular job. And some people go into fucking God knows what. You know what I'm saying? To see what you've done, man, the people that you're beating, and I'm sure the money that you're making now as well, it's phenomenal, Mike. It really is.
Thank you so much, really. I mean, I feel like you're someone who knows how long this road is. When I started, you know, competing professionally at about, I think I was like 22 years old. I got to the UFC at 24. I was 7-0, 7 knockouts, and you know, you don't know. I thought always that there was no other plan. That, I mean, sometimes I think about it, I'm like, shit, I gotta go get a job. I'm gonna go do some construction again or something. Like, that's what I did before. It makes you strong, construction work, you know, doing those manly jobs. But the success I've had boxing, fighting, and bare knuckle, and just getting to really prove how tough I always knew I was. Really coming into my manhood, 31 years old now, got my family. My fighting means so much more now than it ever did. I have things to take care of. So I'm grateful for all of the success I've had. I feel like I've earned it. I've kept my mind in the right place. I've really calmed down a lot of things that I used to do. And I really focus on the mission at hand. So, you know, I'm grateful for everything, the money included.
Yeah, no, of course. Talk to me about that, though, Mike. We'll get to your fights with Rockhold and all the rest of it. And as I say, you have proved a lot of people wrong in what you've done. And that's why I said I'm proud of you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I do know how hard this path is. It's one of the toughest fucking paths on planet Earth, you know? And like people always say, do I want my children to fight? I'm like, no, because it doesn't matter how good you are. If you zig when you should have zagged or whatever, we all know the cliched sayings, you know what I mean? And this much can be the difference between becoming a fucking superstar, multi-million-dollar world champion and being a guy that's going to be a janitor at a high school. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking tough path. You just said there, though, about handling your emotions or maturing a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about that journey, because I was the same way. I was a maniac, and I could still do with improvement now. But when I started to fucking screw this on a little bit better, my results inside the octagon or wherever it was were getting better as well. Talk to me about your experiences.
Well, part of the experience is probably thinking about, do I want my son to fight? And it's definitely a no from me, in my opinion. I want him to train. I want him to learn. I don't want him to have contact for a long time. I don't want him to be hit, but he hits his head on everything in the house all day long. I'm like, damn it, son, are you destined? Are you destined for this? Because he can take a hit, man. He can take a hit just like his dad. But so and another part, like the mindset is like, as of lately, I've been telling myself this is the easiest job in the world. It's the greatest job in the world. Now, that's when I'm at the arena, when it's finally time to fight, and I've put in
the
all the work. That's the easy part.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm sitting back there. I sit down on the couch all night. I'm like, I'm not gonna do too much. I'm going to warm up at certain moments. I'm going to get a little sweat, and then I'm going to stop again. And then when it comes time to walk, I jump up and down and get my blood pumping, and then it's over in no time. It's quick, bam. And I know I can take it. So, I tell myself it's the easiest job in the world, but I cry on the way to the gym that I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. And the more I feel like, oh my God, I really just don't want to do it, or I feel like I can take a day off. The more I feel like that, the more I get my ass in the car and I go and work out even harder, even longer. And then once I get that workout in, it always does the same thing. My mind, any problems I had, anything, stress, I'm free. I'm relaxed. I'm happy. I go home, I shower, I lay down, I enjoy some good dinner. I hang with the family. We watch cartoons or something. And I just, I'm like, damn, I got to do it again tomorrow. But I did it today. And that's what's important. That's
absolutely. And well said. Well said, because that is the hardest part, getting off your ass, getting off the couch. No one wants to do it. Even I say, I like to run. So I'd rather be doing something else, though. Let's be honest. But when you start doing it, then it gets a lot easier. And as you say, that is the hardest. The fighting is the easy part. The training camps is what separates the men from the boys, the champs from the contenders, the winners from the fucking losers. On the night, we can all show up. We can all be tough guys. But if you don't put the prep in, for 8 goddamn long weeks where no one gives a shit, no one's cheering, no one's paying you, you're not getting fucking fame or nothing, getting out of bed cold and hurt and walking into the gym and you're like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to fight night, you're like, let's go, baby. Let's go. Mike, listen, you're a rough and tough kind of guy. You're definitely, with respect, on the brawler side of things. I think that's why this sport, bare knuckle, favors you. Did you see this happening, though? Did you think this is what I should have been doing all along?
I've always loved boxing. I've always wanted another chance at it. I was so successful in MMA because of my capabilities in boxing. And then when I got to the high level kickboxers, I have great jiu-jitsu, but even when you're good at something, you take down a masterful jiu-jitsu player and, he takes your arm home with him. You don't see it coming. So, it's really the type of fighting style that I prefer. We're going to get into a firefight at some point. It's going to be hit for hit, hand to hand, mano a mano, my chin versus yours. And I pick myself in that battle any day of the week. But, it does make me curious as far as successful mindset, what I could accomplish in all realms of combat. And, the way that it went in that fight, I just wondered if Luke had his kicks, if he had his grappling. It's not like he's this super wrestler. He's a grappler,
No.
which is jiu-jitsu. Yep. So it's like I would have still been able to strike with him and land significant blows. It makes me curious, makes me wonder.
Yeah. So is what you're saying now, you would be interested in like fighting Luke in a mixed martial arts contest as well?
I thought about that with MVP as well. MVP's legs are very dangerous. He put a dent in that one guy's head and
cyborg.
And he kicked that one guy's leg in half. And that was his most recent comeback. Since he fought me, he was very intense in that show. He was looking to get a win. And I do feel like in the BKFC fight against MVP, if I was able to do more than just punch, like grab a hold of him, I could have done more and maybe even finished. I think my jiu-jitsu is better than his. So, in an MMA fight, I think that fight, and it was never even brought up. Like Bellator did not want any part of me coming over there and beating their guy in MMA after he had a great fight with me in bare knuckle boxing. So, yes, I thought the same thing with Luke. I felt, I kind of felt bad for him. Like, damn, dude, you had no chance in there against me at all. No chance, bro.
That's how you've got to be. That's how you've got to think. Some people call it arrogance. Some people call it foolish. But you got to believe in yourself,
Well, I thought he did, though. I thought he had a chance. I was a little worried. I was like, damn, is he going to be so big and strong? What's it going to be like? And then it was over, and I was like,
that's what I thought. If I'm honest, I mean, you're right. You take away the grappling, you take away the kicks, the knees, the elbows, and the jiu-jitsu, which he's very good at, but they're like some of his signature tools. But even still, I thought the guy's 6'3", he's far bigger. Perillo's coaching him, who's a great boxing coach. I thought if he uses the right kind of game plan and stays on the outside, he can make it a tough night for Mike. And he caught you in the first round. I think it was a 1-2, right? But then straight left. He's southpaw, of course. But you kept coming in, swinging those shots, bust up his teeth, he's known for being a model. He didn't look like no fucking cover model at the end of that fight. Let's be honest, and no disrespect to Luke.
No, yeah, I felt kind of bad. That was one of the last questions I got that night walking out of the arena. This nice reporter. Little dude with glasses, and he's like, do you feel bad for him? And I was just like, thanks everybody, I was leaving, but like I did because I wanted more of a battle. He hit me, and it was like once he hit me, I realized the range, the timing, where I should move my head. Sometimes you got to hit me first, and I want to taste it. What Sean was saying it right when I came in and you were finishing up with him, he goes, he's not one of those guys that likes to get hit. There's some guys that like to get hit. And I was like, yeah, I just came in the show. That's right. I like that shit. Go ahead, hit me.
Well, that's when you really wake up.
You want to have a headbutt competition or something?
You asked me?
I asked you that one time at the UFC.
Where was that? Where did that happen?
In the UFC when you were in the back, because you're one of the commentators, and you were like, we were doing like knuckle punches, and I was like, you want to fucking have a headbutting competition? I was ready.
What did I say? No, you're good.
Yeah, you said.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
You got nothing to prove though. I want, I still got to be hungry for another 10 years.
There you go. I mean, do you have any idea who you're going to fight next? Because obviously we saw Conor coming in. We'll talk about that in a second. But do you have any idea who the next opponent's going to be? Because MVP and Luke Rockhold, back to back. That's pretty phenomenal, Mike. It really is. And I'm not just saying that because I'm talking to you now. I know Michael Venom Page. He's tremendously talented. He's like ridiculously talented. Luke Rockhold, same thing. He was a dominant middleweight champion of the world. You know what I'm saying? And you took them out consecutively. That's impressive. Do you know who's going to be next, though?
Well, those fights kind of came out of nowhere, didn't they? people were like, who's Mike gonna fight? And then it was like, whoa, he's fighting him? That's awesome. And then it was again, boom, who's he gonna fight after MVP? Oh my God, he's fighting Luke Rockhold, former world champion. I said it. God finally brought me a world champion and knockout. It wasn't exactly a knockout, but they call it a TKO for a reason.
It's a TKO, buddy. And you know what? I laughed my ass off. At the pre-fight press conference, not only when you wiped the bugger on him, which was fucking sensational, when he was like, I'm gonna knock you out or whatever, and you were like, when's the last time you knocked someone out? Or no, what did you say? Brian or Harrington, help me out. What was it you said?
I said, what do you believe? Last time you believed in yourself. When's the last time Michael Bisping knocked somebody out? It was
I know.
It was you.
I was like, yeah. When's the last time Bisping knocked someone out? I thought that was some good shit. That was really good, Mike. It really was.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut your boy off. I wanted to give him some airtime, man.
Nah, jump on, Harrington, jump on. They haven't been on the show the whole time because we've had back-to-back guests, but it's great. Yeah. He's got some questions for you from Twitter as well. So, Harrington, just prep those up in a minute. But did you and Luke get a chance to speak afterwards? You guys good now?
I spoke to him in the back. I was the one who told him, I was like, man, I don't know too much about your mouthpiece, bro. I don't think I saw you with a good mouthpiece in there. I had a nice custom fitted. I'm like, I thought, you're a world champion. You've been in 30 pro fights. You got to wear a good mouthpiece. I don't know if
that's the only bit of protection you've got. That's all you've got, a good mouthpiece.
What the hell? That's all you got, man. So, no telling who's next. You know what I'm gunning for, though? I want the Tommy Fury boxing match. All respect to the Furies. It would have been a Jake Paul thing, but I want the winner. You know what I mean? And I think it makes a lot of sense because guys 8-0, pro boxers don't get, super incredible opponents until they're 20-0 or more.
Yeah.
And it's like, everybody knows I'm a dog, so he could think of it as a tune-up fight or whatever to get him prepped for the big million, 20-0 fights. But I just, I love boxing too, and I was talking with some people, and I would love to get in the boxing ring, even with the pillows on my hands, because I don't see a lot of people wanting to come over here to bare knuckle with me.
Well, no, you're right. I think a lot of those names you just mentioned, and there's quite a few names, in the YouTube world, the KSIs, the Jake Pauls, the Tommy Fury. I don't think they would fight you bare knuckle, but you have got a name now. You are a world champion taking out solid world-class fighters, and that's a fact. So those opportunities may present themselves. But let me also present another name, Darren Till. Would that be something that interests you?
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't want to do a bare knuckle.
Does he not? Have you guys spoken?
He's not as much of a boxer as me. He knows from when we sparred. We talked some shit the other day. My manager was recording it in the car. We was on FaceTime talking those shit. He's confident. He thinks he could do something, but he knows damn well what happened when we sparred. And when I get right up here in your face, nice and close, bing, 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 bing. And he's got that left hand from a distance, but his hips are a very strong point for him. He has very strong hips as far as like wrestling defense and putting his weight on you. He had good Muay Thai trips. He tossed me to the ground a couple of times, but it's just a trip. I got back in his face and popped him in the nose. So one of the funniest things I remember when you guys, I think it was on an embedded or something, and you said, do you want to spar? And he thought you meant go to a spa and like sit in the sauna and shit. That was hilarious. Go spa now, mate. You thought that's what I asked you? And I got some fucking payback for him, man. He made a beer off the fucking joke that he tried to say to me and my girlfriend. What's that? And the raw dog beer. But I was the one raw dogging it, and I've been raw dogging this whole fight game for the past 2 years, while Darren Till's been on his ass getting raw dogs for the last 6 fights. So he definitely don't want to do it bare knuckle boxing. I don't think he wants to do it boxing, but we can make that fight somehow, some way.
And you never know with those kind of words, Mike. That might just motivate a man to sign a contract. I'm going to reach out and send this thing down.
Darren's a cheeky little cunt.
Hey, hold on a minute.
Mike, I was just talking shit with MMA Junkie about Cowboy Cerrone too, because after the bare knuckle fight, we didn't expect Conor to be there. When Conor pulled up, I'd rather get the face off with him. And I saw Cowboy after, and he's a sneaky little snake, man. I'm telling you, because
Cerrone?
He looked at me, and he looked scared. He looked sad. He looked pitiful, like an old, shitty old man with gray hairs coming out of his hat. He looked like just sad and pitiful. And I thought, like, oh, damn, why are you looking at me like that? Like, I mentioned you, you know what I mean? Like, it would be cool. I thought maybe you would like an adrenaline-filled event like a bare-knuckle boxing match. They've been telling me that maybe you wanted this. I was pretty sure you didn't. And the look on your face says you do not want this at all in bare-knuckle boxing. You a grappling ass. And then afterward, he had, like, some things to say with the schmo, and he, like, kind of had a chip on his shoulder and didn't want to give me no credit. But he already quit in that interview, too, because he's like, my teeth broke. I gave up, too.
So hold on a minute. Are you saying that there was potential of you guys fighting each other in bare knuckle? Because Cerrone retired from the UFC, last year or a while ago anyway. Was that a potential fight?
I don't know. They talk to me, they tell me a couple names. They tell me Cerrone might be there. Everybody knows, bare knuckle and like how it works. And some certain specific UFC fighters would be a draw to see in it. And in my opinion, I've seen Conor McGregor work in bare knuckle training and stuff. And I know he was there and he loved the show and respected the game. And it was just like a more intriguing factor. And Conor beat Cowboy, and I fought Cowboy as well, but he armbarred me. And it's like, we could have a real fight that was interesting. But, and then, that's what I'm saying. They tell me one thing, and then the other things kind of happen the way they should. And, I'm down to fight them all.
What about McGregor? When he stepped in, you got face-to-face. I mean, it was polite, but there was a little bit of tension there. There was a little bit of tension. And he was like, McGregor can't help himself.
He's aggressive.
He mentioned Cerrone. He goes, what did I do? What did I do?
Yeah.
Took him out in 40 seconds.
He's the king of it,
you got on board. I took him out in 40 seconds. Like, did
everybody
listen, you little
McGregor.
bastard.
No matter where you go, he's aggressive, and he's known for just being known. Like, if you tell people you face off with somebody after you beat a world champion, you probably want to say it was Conor McGregor, because then they'll be like, oh, really? No one else knows anyone else, unless, even more so McGregor over John Jones. Anywhere you go in the world, people don't really know. So, I was grateful. I told him, thank you so much for being here, because he allowed me to, speak the name of a friend, and with his presence there, that brings everyone's attention to that moment. And I was able to, just kind of shout out a friend of mine.
Yeah, of course. And I know what you're talking about, and I'm sorry for your loss there, Mike. I really
Thank you.
My sincere condolences. Funny I say that, but now what I'm going to say to you is this. I had you on the podcast before, Mike. Where was this version of Mike Perry? You came on, you were because I thought, this is going to be wild. We got Mike Perry on. He's a fucking lunatic. So am I. We're going to have a riot. It's going to be fun. You came on, you were very cordial. You were very businesslike. You were very mild-mannered. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I wanted this, Mike Perry. Yeah. This is what I wanted.
Well, this is where I'm at now. I'm in this shit now, and I'm ready for it. I've put all my chips in the right places, and I'm ready for what's coming to me. I also know that I have to be careful what I say. I can set myself up. I saw something the other day about Bruce Lee saying that's why it's called spelling, because you spelling, you putting spells and crafts with your words out there. And I'm just like, I'll be watching what I say, but now I know that I got to just jump in and be the best me I can be, entertain. And man, when these announcements get dropped, I hope the world goes absolutely crazy for my next setup fights, because I'm going to go crazy when I get in the ring.
Words are powerful. I mean, not only are you a bare knuckle champion, now you're a philosopher as well. I mean, what has happened? He's a philosopher. The words are spelling. My God, it's so great to catch up with you, man, because it's been a while since we spoke, Mike, you know, and I always liked and I always had great respect. Love what you did in your fights, of course, but as a guy as well, we always had good interactions. So thank you for coming on. Harrington, what have we got on Twitter for the great platinum Mike Perry? And welcome to the show, Harrington. We've had 3 guests back to back. He's been sitting there like a good little boy backstage. I apologize, Harrington.
I've been putting little things in the chat here, little punching in when I can. Darren Till is the first question asked.
Hold on a minute. Go on, give it us again. Come on. Oh shit, you've got me. I'm putting it down. I tap out.
You're next for bare knuckle.
Hey, listen. I'm serious. I was like, if Rockhold beats Mike Perry, I'll have a do. But he didn't. I mean, listen, with respect, fuck it, I'll have a go.
Hey, David Feldman, call him up, bro. I mean, all respect.
Let's go, David.
Families, brother. We fight for the family.
There's the headline. We'll fight for the family. Harrington, what have we got, brother?
First question. Darren Till asks, why is Perry such a sausage?
Cause I put it in your mouth, you queer boy.
Keep them going, Harrington.
You guys want me to see if Darren wants to come on?
Oh, please, yeah, message him now. I will as well. Just ask him a question, Harrington, while I message Darren. This is the episode of all episodes.
I just sent him a link. I had it ready to go.
Okay. RJ in KC wants to know, how many fights are typical in a BKFC contract, and would you consider a move to Masvidal's bare knuckle MMA promotion once your contract with BKFC is up?
Well, my contract is up. I'm currently a free agent. I fought it out. There are some lucrative deals on the table, and the bare knuckle MMA is not one of them. BKFC contract was a 3-fight deal, and they treated me very well, and we upgraded that contract a couple of times. But then before they re-signed me at the end, before that Luke Rockhold fight, they had me finish that contract out. My management knew what they were doing, and now there's a big. I'm like, the top product in the stock market right now.
How many years do you think you'd like to fight in bare knuckle, or just keep going until you feel you can't do it anymore? Or do you have a plan? Well,
I've said that I'm a contract killer for hire, and whoever's got the best numbers. Like I said, it's intriguing to think about how I could take this successful mindset to all realms of combat. I'm interested in boxing. I do like bare knuckle boxing. It seems to give me quite the edge. And then there are, I've got 20 professional MMA fights too. So
I mean, this what I'm about to say now. It's a pretty obvious question, but it's the what was it? The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that everybody wants. But the Jake Paul fight. I mean, you're doing great things in boxing. If he beats Nate Diaz, and by the way, who do you think wins that? I mean, the Jake Paul fight would just be perfect for you, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I think I said the other day on a post that I think Jake's kind of doing some things wrong. He seems very green to me. He seems fresh and new in this sport, and you can really tell. I know he's had some big events already, but the learning comes slow. It's a long road, like we talked about. And he's coming off of a loss, and just because you might train harder or run a little harder, you might not be thinking properly. And Nate has been around, and he has seen the ups and downs of the game. And I know he knows what he's got in front of him and what he's up against. Jake's got some power. He's sharp from the outside when it comes to boxing. He's going to change a few things since the Tommy Fury fight. We all know Nate is very durable. We've seen him take beatings bad and come back and get victories. So I can see him weathering a storm. I can see him peppering them. I want to see more speed. He did rock Leon Edwards, who is the top guy right now at 170. Jake is a bigger guy. Nate's really a 155er from back in the day, but now he's like, probably sits around 175, 180. I'm assuming he's looking to be fast, pepper him up on the outside. He doesn't have to worry about kicks. Nate's a smart
but hold on, let me ask you this though. What you just said before about Rockhold, and again, I'm not taking away from your win. Don't think that at all. But in bare knuckle, Rockhold can't use a lot of the other good weapons that he has. Nate's known for being a great mixed martial artist. Is he playing into the hands of a Jake Paul? We know he's got good hands. We know he rocks Leon Edwards. He rocks Conor McGregor. We know. But do you think, and the fact that he is 38 as well, what do you think about that?
Whenever I think about age, though, I think about, first of all, sparring for my camp with Luke Rockhold, I sparred with 44-year-old Lyoto Machida. Dude's sharp as a whistle, man. Sharp as a tack. I don't think that's how the fucking thing goes.
Sharp as a motherfucker.
Yes, so sharp. And then I just played soccer the other night with Yoel Romero in Miami. Dude,
I love you. I love you. You say this to me. Dude, I said, I love you.
Yes, I love you too, bro. Yes. Yoel's the man, and he's very old. And I know Dan Henderson, 47 years old. Yeah. Fucking you fought all these guys I'm talking about. So age, 38's not bad. Nate better come in there smart. It seems like he is. He's fucking with Jake. He's in Jake's head without trying. Jake's pissed about him for some reason. And he's going to be really mad when he's not having success against him like he thinks he's going to have. And he's going to be in his own head because he's green in the sport. This is what I see.
Well, he's coming off his first loss as well. Let's remember that. You know what I mean?
Fighters are good when they come off of that.
They are good, but it can mess with this though. You know what I'm saying? It's all well and good when you're undefeated. You're like, oh, my shit don't stink. I can beat anybody. Then you take a loss and you're like, hold on a minute. I am human after all. Now he's going up against Nate Diaz. On paper, there is benefits to Jake Paul, but Nate is a proven badass,
Yeah, I guess I'm saying with my heart, I'm like with Nate. And I always tell myself when it comes to betting, don't pick with your heart.
Yeah,
you pick with your mind. That Jake seems to be the much tougher challenge here for Nate, and that he could hurt him, but I don't see him hitting him hard enough because Nate is known to take attrition. So,
well, anyway, bollocks to Nate Paul, Nate Diaz and Jake Paul. Bollocks to them. We'll end on this, Mike. And I've loved talking to you. This has been great.
Thank you.
Has. I've had a great time. We've had a good laugh.
Man, your camera view and like your setup, it looks so good, man.
It's almost like I do this professionally. You know what I mean?
Look at my chair. Look at my fucking
Let's have a
chair.
look. Let's have
it's
a look.
A broken.
Oh, bro.
It's a broken
that's a classic.
computer.
It's the classic. We've all been there. But because like when I was fighting,
that's Nate Diaz, man.
There we go, bro. There we go. When I was fighting, I was always terrified what I was going to do afterwards because I can't do anything else. I left school at 16. Do you know what I mean? And then, you find your way, you weave your way through life. What do you think you'll do? When the time comes, you hang the gloves up. What's Mike Perry going to do? Are you not even thinking about that yet?
No, I am because of what happened to my friend. I was struggling with that. But then I even told Conor McGregor that he helped me with that. And it's like, I talked to a lot of people from that thing that happened. And it was like, they were like, you have an opportunity right now. So depending on my opportunities right now, they're so large that I know that I have to keep going as hard as ever. And that gives me a drive to be my best self. To strive and to work out hard, and it gets me pumped, So I'm not thinking about giving up because I feel like the next 10 years are very important for me and my family, and we can make a fortune in this time. So that's what I'm thinking about, and it has to be the right ones, right fights. There's a lot of interesting options for me. Mike Perry can fight anyone. So,
Yeah.
you know, Darren Till's whole ass didn't show up.
He never showed up. I don't. He must be in bed or something like that. What a hoe! I'm telling him. I'm going to give it to him. Darren, you're a hoe, lad. What the fuck? We got Mike Perry all right here. Mike, I think that's a good place to end this. You are the man. It's great catching up with you. It's been far too long. Congrats on everything. Honestly, as I said at the top, I'm proud of you, man. You deserve this because you are a real one. You're a real fighter. You know what I mean? And it's not an easy road. And it's always so satisfying to see people that they struggle, they lose, whatever. They win some, they lose some, and they keep going. They keep going. Because it's easy to quit and go do something else. But you've kept fucking going. You've made it work for you. You're making a ton of money. You're looking after your family. And that's what life's all about. Congrats, brother. And I really mean that.
Thank you so much, Michael Bisping. God bless.
Right on.
You and your fam. Peasy.
All right, take it easy, bro. We'll talk soon.